Hello and welcome to the tutorial for this week's session of Mapping Sustainable Solutions. In today's tutorial we're going to look at using JASP to do Mann-Whitney U test on some data, and we're also going to look at how to use Spearman's rank correlation again using JASP. So as always, what we're going to need to do is find ourselves some data to use for our session today. And what we're going to use is some data from the UK government on UK sea fisheries annual statistics. The most recent report that they have is the one from 2018. The link for this is on the resources page, but also in the references at the end of this presentation. So let's just have a quick look down here. The section we're interested in is Chapter 3, Landings. Now what I've done is I've downloaded that and I've then uploaded it onto my Google Drive and into Google Sheets. And the data itself is just over here. Now you can see you've got a lot of different tabs of data at the bottom there, and the notes section here tells us what each of those is. What we're interested in is table 3.2, which is the landings into the UK by UK vessels from 2014 to 2018. And there we are. That's the data that we're working on. Basically, you've got the species of fish down the left-hand side, and you've then got the thousands of tonnes that are caught over those years. There are three basic types of catch that are recorded here, one of which is shellfish, which is down at the bottom. We're not going to use that data. We're just going to confine ourselves to actual fish. They break down into two sections, demersal and pelagic. Demersal means fish that live and spend most of their time near the bottom of the sea, and pelagic, those that swim and feed mostly in open water. So that's our data that we're going to use. Now, what we're going to need to do in order to be able to process this data is to remove the actual information from this page and into a fresh document, and we're then going to need to do a little bit of editing on it to get it into a state that is going to be usable for our analysis. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this data. So I'm just selecting everything all the way down to the bottom of total pelagic, and I'm then going to copy it. I'm going to make myself a new spreadsheet, and then paste the data into there. Now you can see immediately that we do have some problems in terms of the formatting of this. So I'm going to start by first of all getting rid of a few things like these empty rows that we've got, and similarly the empty columns. Once we've cleaned up the data, we can then start to prepare it for analysis. Okay, let's just scroll down here and have a look. I don't want to include the data they have for the totals, so I'm going to delete those rows as well. There we go. Okay, so we have all of our data there. Now what I will also need to do at this point is to change the number format for the data. Because that was included in a report, they've actually included it within the table as text rather than actually as numbers. So that will then work against us when we try to use it with JASP. So I am going to just change that. So go to Format, Number, and change it to Number. It may not look like there's been much of a change, but it has now changed all of that data into a format that can be used in JASP. Now, in order to be able to use this data within the Mann-Whitney test, we're going to need to do a little bit of moving the data about in order to be able to allow us to use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy some of the data into another spreadsheet. So I'm going to name this one before we do that. And I'm going to call this one fish data, just so we can remember which one it is. And I'm going to take the data for 2014 and 2015. Okay, so I've scrolled all the way to the bottom and I'm copying that data across. Okay, I'm going to open another blank document in which I'm going to paste the data. I'm going to call this one Mann-Whitney because that's the test that we're going to be using. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 2015 data and I'm going to cut that and paste it down the bottom there. I'm also going to copy the species names, which I'm going to copy and paste a second set in there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a new column. And in that new column, we're going to put the year. So the first one was, if you remember, 2014. So I'm going to copy and paste down, all the way down. There we go, to other pelagic, which is where our data finishes. And then the next set of data is 2015. So again, I'm going to copy and paste that down. Okay, so that's our data now complete. We've got 3 columns, one of which has got the species in, one of which has the year, and one the catch. Now what we really need are some titles. Species, year, and then catch. Okay, now that is our file basically complete. So what I will now do is download a copy of it. Remember again, as a CSV, comma separated values file. And that downloads, goes into my downloads folder. And there we are, it's arrived. So, I've already got JASP open. What I'm going to do is now open that file within JASP. And there's my downloads folder. And there is my Mann-Whitney file, so I'm going to click on that. And that now opens up. Okay, so we have now 3 sets of data within JASP. So we've got our species column, our year column, and our catch column. What I'm going to do is just change the column type on year. And I'm going to change that to a nominal column. Now, we want to proceed with doing our test. We want to compare the catch for 2014 and 2015 to see if there is any difference. Now, when we used the t-test, click up here, that was where we found our t-tests. And this is where we also find Mann-Whitney. Now, we're going to use this time an independent samples t-test. And we click on that. Now, the non-parametric tests are all found within the same place as the parametric one. So we've asked for an independent samples t-test. But you can see down here on the left-hand side, we then have a series of other tests that we can do instead. So we're not going to do the student's t-test. In this case, we're going to do Mann-Whitney. So that will now produce us our analysis based on the Mann-Whitney test. So we now have to put in two things, one of which is the grouping variable. And we're going to use for the grouping variable year. So that's the thing we're testing the data by. Has there been a difference between the 2 years? The information that we're going to then use to actually do the rest of the test is the catch data. So we're just going to select that and put that into variables. So there we go. We have our catch data and our grouping variable. And if we look over here, there we go. That has now conducted the Mann-Whitney U test. There's the value we have for it, and we have a probability value that it also calculates. Remember, we're looking for something below 0.05. In fact, it's substantially higher than that, so we can accept the null hypothesis that there is no difference between the two sets of data, no statistically significant difference between the two sets of data. And that's good. If we then want to export our results, we can then put that into a PDF file, which you then export to wherever you want to save your data, and that can then be included as part of whatever report you're doing or anything else like that. Takes a few seconds sometimes on getting it to export, but it usually gets there in the end. And there we go. So now we're going to move on to looking at Spearman's rank correlation. To do this, we're going to use the data set that we used last week, soil data. If you remember, that had various factors in it, including some physical factors and then some measurements of levels of particular elements within the soil. So what I've done is I've just opened that file up again. If we have a look at some of the elemental data, we can see a little bit what the problem with the data probably is. We just select that and then insert a chart. We'll change that chart to a histogram. There we go. And you can see immediately that this isn't data that conforms to the standard normal distribution. There are obviously only one tail to the distribution. The peak of it is all towards the top end, and there is a little bit of negative skew as well that you can see there. So consequently, this is an ideal candidate for then doing a non-parametric version of the correlation test. And so consequently, let's delete that, we're going to need to use the Spearman's rank correlation instead. Now what I've done is I've downloaded my data again in comma-separated values. So that's then ready for me to use. I'll open up JASP, and now we'll find our file. There it is, soil data. And that opens up, and there you go. You can see all of our data there in front of us. Now, correlation is found under the regression tab in JASP. As I said before, we find both our parametric and non-parametrics all in the same place in JASP. So currently, we're set to doing sample correlation coefficient with Pearson's. The Pearson's, if you remember, is the parametric version of correlation, and that's the one that you will find in spreadsheets if you use the correlation function. So we'll get rid of that one, and instead we'll use Spearman's. Now, what we need are a couple of variables to compare. Let's take iron and calcium. There we go. And it really is as straightforward as that. You can now see that you get a little table where you've got iron and calcium on there. There is only one set of combinations, obviously, that compares the two, and that's the one we have values for. So our Spearman's rho value is 0.356. So that would tell us that there isn't really a very strong correlation at all between the two of those. Remember, a value of 1 is a strong correlation, 0, no correlation, -1, a strong negative correlation. It also gives us a probability value for that to tell us whether there is a statistically significant correlation between the two sets of data. Now the p-value has come out as 0.147, so that's not less than 0.05, which is what we would expect it to be if it was significant. So there is no significant correlation between those two sets of data. You can see this is quite a straightforward way to be able to do your correlation. And again, when we get to the end of it, you can then go to the results and export the results as a PDF that will then allow you to add that to other reports or anything else like that you need to do. Okay, and as always, we can save that. And that then will give us the results that we need for our analysis. So we'll finish today's session by just reviewing our learning outcomes. So you've gained an understanding of how non-parametric statistical tests worked. We've looked at using rank-based statistics, specifically the Mann-Whitney U-test and then Spearman's rank correlation. We've also then gone on to look at how to prepare data to use for analysis using JASP.